Even to ask you, where are all the business cards you've collected in the last 5 years? Do you still have them, or have you thrown them away as soon as you received them? I thought about this topic and I felt, you know what, I need to talk about it today. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about business cards. Are they still relevant in the 21st century? Are people still buying into the idea of using them? And are digital cards better than physical cards? So without any further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the DFY Show, where we empower entrepreneurs, professionals, and business owners with valuable resources to accelerate their growth and unlock their full potential. I'm your host, Damilola Felicia Badmus, and in each episode, we will dive into the strategies, insights, and success stories that drive personal and business growth. Whether you're looking to level up your branding, master marketing techniques, or embrace entrepreneurship, the DFY Show is your one-stop destination for inspiration and knowledge. So grab your pen and papers and let's dive in. Welcome back to the DFY Show, and it's been amazing so far. Once again, thank you everyone that has been tuning in. Thank you everyone for the reviews. Thank you everyone for the support so far. So like the intro said, business cards, I just sat down one day and I felt all the business cards that I've been trying to work on, either by printing or by virtual cards, are they still really relevant? And I made my research and I felt that it's a two-way thing. It can be relevant to some people and it might not be relevant to some people. But before we even dive into this whole issue of business cards, I'm just going to let us know about the background of business cards. And interestingly, business cards have been around for centuries, and it's so amazing to see how their use has evolved. So I made my research and I stumbled upon different websites that talked about the history of business cards. So I'm just going to read some of the history and some of the things that I learned that I find very interesting, and I think that you might as well. Visiting cards, which appeared in China in the 15th century, were one of the first examples of business cards. They were essentially a small card that people would carry around with them, explaining why they were so important and interesting. Now, these visiting cards were similar in size and shape to playing cards, and they became very, very popular because people began to customize their designs. And interestingly, visiting cards made their way to Europe, and they became widespread by the 1700s, when both men and women in the upper class began to use them. So now every upper class household back in Europe had a card tray in their foyer or in their hall, and visitors would be greeted by a servant who held the tray in his or her left hand, and they would place their personal cards in the tray. Then the lady of the household would look at the card and decide whether to meet with the visitor. Now, visitors could fold their cards in certain ways to send messages to the lady or leave small notes, commonly in Latin. The cards were generally kept in a card tray, but it also became commonplace to keep certain ones, like those with notes for Christmas or congratulations in scrapbooks. In fact, this is how the practice of giving holiday cards and other greeting cards emerged. And that's not all. Calling cards weren't the only thing that came from visiting cards. In fact, in the 17th century in England, trade cards became an important part of society as well. Trade cards were used by businesses as advertisements and often had intricate designs along with directions to the store or business. Now, these cards grew in popularity alongside calling cards. One was used for business and the other was used for socializing. Then in the 19th century, the two functions were merged into one card, business card. Now fast forward to the 21st century, where digital communication, messaging apps, and video calls appear to have taken over the printed page. The question is, are business cards still relevant? Now, I did a deep research into this topic because I just wanted to know whether it was just me that was thinking business cards were not really as popular as they used to be. In a blog post written by Forbes Agency Council, Forbes asked its members about the role of business cards in the modern world, and here's what they had to say. So I'll just read out some people's opinion about business cards that I actually drew from Forbes Agency Council's website. One said, I have not handled a business card in over 2 years. If I want a contact information to sell our services, I will ask for their email and immediately send them a message. Now I have their information and they have mine. It also creates a reminder when they get back to the office in their inbox. Business cards can often be tossed, dropped, lost, or just not be referenced again. Another said, I have not owned a business card in 5 years. I'm still shaking hands and meeting people, but all it takes is a few clicks to find an executive on LinkedIn and add them to your network. Gone are the days of searching for someone's business card you met at a conference 6 months ago. All you need is a name, company, and LinkedIn to visit a connection. LinkedIn is your data Rolodex of business cards. Another one said, I appreciate business cards in situations where they make sense, but most of the time they go in the trash. I hate being given a business card because of a formality. It is one of the things to cluster in my pocket. You can find almost anyone online now, so if I need you, I will find you. The one exemption is to get a private email address. Another one said, business cards aren't a thing of the past, but saving them is. A further said, collect a business card but take immediate notes. Back at the office, scan the card. There are a lot of scanner apps. Impute the info gathered and let it prompt a useful and valuable follow-up. Connect on LinkedIn, but do one more thing. For example, follow up a week later by following the person on Twitter and send an email shortly after about something you've spoken about. Another one said, when I receive a business card, I create an opinion about the company as soon as the card touches my hand. Is it thin and flimsy? Is it thick cardstock? Was it printed? Was it embossed? Is it the traditional business card size? To me, having a quality business card equates to having a successful business. Another one said, with the development of digital media, it's much easier to follow someone on a social platform and remain connected. Some prefer this rather than having a business card gather dust or find itself in the trash. However, traditional methods should not be overlooked. I believe business cards should always be handy, especially for audiences that tend to keep it old school and aren't on the social media wave. I quite agree with what this last person said because I remember that I went for an event I think last year, and while it was easy for me to just connect with people on LinkedIn and have them on my network, there was this person I reached out to and the man said he's not on LinkedIn, and I was very shocked because it was like he doesn't do social media and he handed me his card. And at that time, I haven't printed my business card yet. As a matter of fact, I remember when I had my photography business back in my home country in Nigeria, I printed about 100 pieces of business card and I didn't share up to 7. So trying to create a new business card for me, I tend to look at it like, okay, it's unnecessary. But when I met with that man that night and he just sort of said he doesn't have a LinkedIn account and he's not on any social media, I was like, okay. So all he did was he gave me his business card. But to be honest, I don't know where that business card is right now. So one can just get to wonder if business card, that is either the digital business card now or the physical business card, is better. I actually have a digital business card. And for me, I think that is simple and quite easy because you have all your information. All you just have to do is scan your barcode. But before I just go further than myself. When we are saying, okay, digital business card and physical business card, what are the pros and cons? But first of all, what is the digital business card? A digital business card is also referred to as a QR code business card, or a virtual business card, or an electronic business card, or a mobile business card. This kind of card is a profile that connects all your digital contact information, and they give people the ability to share who they are with anyone wherever they go. So this card is still the same information that you have on your paper card. However, the only difference between a digital card and a physical card is that one is tangible. That means you can see it and you can touch it, while the digital is just online. You scan the QR code, the information of the person comes on your phone, and then you just save the person's contact. So all information regarding the person's website, the person's LinkedIn profile, or the social media profile gets to pop up, and you can connect with that person at a go. So that one is time saving, but then they also have their pros and their cons, and we are going to be touching on them. So let's start with physical business cards. What are the pros of a physical business card? Obviously, they are tangible and they can leave a strong memory and impression on whoever you're giving your card to. Another positive thing about the business card is that it creates a personal touch, because when you hand your card over to someone, they get to feel a little bit personal with you, and this can have a positive impact when you want to have a conversation later. Another one is that a well-designed physical card can also help showcase your branding and also your professionalism, so people can be able to see who you are even without you speaking. They can be able to feel the kind of brand that you are creating. Is it sophisticated? What is your brand color? All of this can create a perception in the mind of someone that is holding your card. Another one, which I feel like is the most important, is that physical cards don't have any technical barriers, because people don't need a specific app, or they don't have to open their camera, or they don't need technology to access your information. And it also makes networking at ease, because when you see someone in networking events, you introduce yourself, and next thing, okay, how do I get in touch with you? You just hand over your business card to the person, and then the person have your information, rather than you trying to bring out your phone and say, okay, please can you turn on your camera so that you can scan my QR code. However, they also have their cons, and one of their cons is also that they have limited storage, because it can be difficult to manage, and you also have the risk of people losing them or misplacing them. It also has environmental impact, because here in the UK we are always about repurposing paper and recycling, and the production and disposal of physical cards can also contribute to paper waste. And then there is another thing about outdated information, because if your contact details change and you have, let's say, a stock of about 100 business cards, that means those papers would get to waste, because the informations that you have on the business card are no longer valid. So that means you either have to print a new one, or you start looking for ways to correct the already printed business card. So those are the cons. Now let's have a look at digital business cards. Now digital business cards have its own advantages and disadvantages as well. And one of the advantages, which is the pros, is that they are convenient, because they are just on your mobile, and it's very easy to share your details via email, via messaging apps, via social media apps, or QR code. All you just have to do is either send a link or send a QR code, and people would have your information at a go. Another advantage is that you can update your information in real time. That makes people always have your current details. And also, because it is digital, it reduces paper waste, and is also eco-friendly. And digital cards can also include multiple elements like links to your website, like I said earlier, your social media profiles, and your videos. For me, my digital business card have my links, has my social media profiles, has a little summary about me so that you can get to know what I do. It also has photos of me and my business. Digital cards, I would also say, can be stored on people's devices, and it makes your information more organized, and it's also very accessible. Now let's talk about the disadvantages, because what is good can also have the bad side, right? So, what are the disadvantages of a digital business card? The most important, or I would say the number one factor, is that they are dependent on technology. So that means that you and whoever that is receiving your card have to have internet connection, or they need to have a compatible device for you both to exchange your business card. It is also less personal, because some people might feel like they haven't had a physical interaction with you because you've not shared anything that is physical, even though you've shared your information online. So to some people, it might have, or it might lack, a personal touch. And some people might also think that it's not a good way to express yourself or leave a lasting impression onto others. Another disadvantage is that whoever that you're giving your digital card to might not even open or view your card immediately. And this might lead to potential missed opportunities. And I think I've experienced that before, where I gave someone my QR code to scan, and then the person scanned it, but I was expecting him to save my information immediately, but it wasn't going through. And the person just said, "You know what, just give me your LinkedIn handle." And we just sort of ended the conversation there. So that might be a disadvantage, because people might not save your information immediately. And because we know that everybody gets busy, or we tend to open different tabs after another, your information might get lost in the process. And also, data privacy. Some people have raised concerns about data privacy and security. So this might be something else that you might want to consider. But in all, I don't think it's that bad. So the choice between digital and physical business cards, to be honest, really depends on your goal. It depends on your target audience, and it also depends on the context in which you want to use them. So you might say that I want to use my digital card for something else. I might say that I want to use my physical card for something else. Now, that being said, what are the ways by which we can use our business cards? Number one way of using your business card is through networking events. You can distribute your business cards at conferences. You can distribute them at workshops, at seminars. You can also hand out your business card when you're having a one-on-one meeting. You can hand it over when you're doing client presentation or job interviews. You can use your business card at company parties. You can also use your business card in your local community to just expand your network and attract your clients or customers. You can also give your business cards to people that have similar interests as you. In fact, you can give your business card to people that want to establish relationship with you. And you can also give your business card to your competitors, because you never can tell. You can travel along with your business card for when you're traveling for work, because you never can know, you might meet someone that is relevant in your industry. And that is why it's also good when you learn how to establish relationship with people, let's say while you're in transit or while you're on the road. You can leave your business cards at cafes, at shops, or at places where your potential clients might find you. Isn't that interesting? I've also seen places where people insert their business cards in direct mailing or through their promotional materials just to add a personal touch and to also encourage engagement. People also include their business cards when sending thank you notes or follow-up emails to strengthen their connection. Some also use their business cards when, if for example you sell your product, you can just insert your business card into your packaging. I know of my wig vendor that she included a business card into the packaging material that I had for one of my wigs. So you can do something like that. So with all of this said, if I'm to answer the question, are business cards relevant? I will say that there is no definite answer. This is because the relevance of business card, in my opinion, will likely depend on the specific industry or the profession of the person. And many people now conduct business transactions and communicate with their potential clients online. So some might want to work with business cards, especially physical cards. Some might want to work with virtual cards. So it eventually depends on your preference. However, there are still some situations that a physical business card might be useful, such as networking events or face-to-face meetings. So you can just test to see which one would work for you and which one would people accept. So just make it more like an experiment if you do not have a physical business card yet. So I'm curious to know what you think of this topic. Do you think business cards are still relevant? And would you prefer to use a digital or a physical business card? So kindly share your thoughts and please tag me on LinkedIn, or you can just send me a direct DM and I would really want to read from you. So that will be all for today's episode. Don't forget that my company, Royal Brand Academy, offers branding services. And if you want to build compelling and authentic personal brands that resonate with your target audience, that also enhance your professional reputation and also open doors that are exciting, kindly visit our website at royalbrandacademy.com or send me a direct message on LinkedIn or on Instagram at Damilola Felicia Badmos. Also, you can get a copy of my book, How LinkedIn Works, Attract Your Target Audience. This book explains how you can get the most of LinkedIn, and it touches on topics like creator tools, content creation, how to build authority, understanding LinkedIn features, and many more. It's available both as a paperback and an ebook, so ensure you check Amazon, and also you can check Paystack as well. Finally, I ask that you kindly subscribe to this podcast, rate it, and leave reviews so more people can find it. Thank you so much for listening, and see you in the next episode.